Hey guys, in today's video we're going to be starting some seeds for some spring flowers, and I want this video to be a little casual. I wanted to chat with you guys about some updates going on around the house and updates on the channel. So let's get into it, and don't mind me as I just ramble through lots of thoughts. So I'm going to start with 3 different flowers that just need to be pressed lightly into the soil. The seeds are really tiny. So I've got lobelia, black-eyed Susan, and portulaca or moss rose. I have several other ones like marigolds, gazania, gomphrena, gaillardia, and we're going to start those too, but not yet. To start, I'm going to use a sterile seed starting mix. My go-to is the Miracle-Gro one. I've had success with it in the past, and it's very easily available at my local Lowe's or my Home Depot. So whichever store I go to, I know I can just grab this one. And I'm going to start by putting it on this plant mat so that I can get it a little bit moist, and then kind of break up the big pieces with my hands. And then we'll put it in the seed starting cells and get to planting. You can see it's nice and light and fluffy. There should be very few big pieces, if any at all. I mean, I see like one. It's not a big deal. We'll just take it out. And I'm gonna add a little bit of water, not too much. We're just gonna try to moisten it. And after we get the seeds planted, we're gonna do some bottom watering. My hands are definitely going to get dirty. That's okay. Let me reposition myself. It's easier to reach if I do this. Yes. So, I think one of the reasons that I like to plant flowers is because it just feels like a little easier than vegetables. And I'm sure there's some flowers that are not easy and they make it difficult, but I feel like vegetables take so much tender care along the entire growth period. And flowers, well, I just don't really have much expectations. Maybe that's why. As long as I get some pretty flowers, I'm happy with it. We're just going to put this seed starting mix directly in the seed starting cell. This is the Vigo Garden Giga size seed starting tray. I always use Vigo Garden seed starting stuff, and I love how they always have, you know, a nice tray that goes along with the seed starting cells, and it fits nicely. So I'm just going to kind of put a light layer on top of that. Then we're going to get to planting the moss rose. And this always happens, I get an itch on my face when my hands are covered in soil. I know it happens to you too. Don't lie. We all finish seed starting with a mess all over our faces, right? All right, so I'm just going to follow the instructions on the seed packet. Portulaca actually doesn't need to be seed started. It could be direct sown. It's either one. I'm going to seed start it indoors because my spot where I'm going to put the portulaca is not ready yet. And these are really teeny tiny seeds. So all we have to do is put some right on the surface. So it says the seed depth is press into surface. And when they're 1/2 inch tall, we'll thin to 1 every 6 inches. So in this Giga seed starting tray, we'll probably end up with 1 portulaca per cell. And I'm not totally sure that the Giga size is the best size for this flower. This is the first time I'm starting it from seed like this. So we'll see how it goes. Maybe it's kind of bigger than it needs to be, but I know I've grown portulaca before, and it's kind of like low and spreads So I didn't want to put it in like a smaller one where it had no room to spread. We'll see how it goes. Now that I've sprinkled some on the surface, I'm just going to gently press it in. And that's it for portulaca. I also put these labels on with my label maker, just to keep track of which seed is in which cell. I want to save these seeds, but my hands are a mess. You think it's okay if I put it back in the seed packet? I'm gonna risk it. I have another seed packet. We'll see. Hopefully we don't get germination in here. All right, we're gonna move on to the next flower, Black-Eyed Susan and Lobelia. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Half the time when I say a flower name, I know I pronounce it wrong. And it's just because I didn't talk to anybody verbally about it. I just read stuff about it. You know, it happens. Forgive me. I'll get better as time goes on. So I think I need some more seed starting mix, so I added another bag. And we'll just spread this out, break it up a little bit. And the next two, again, are just going to be pressed into the soil. So we're going to do the same thing that we just did on the portulaca. Start with a little water. Now, I've been kind of delinquent on making like a lot of content in the last week or two, and it's because I had some problems with my cell phone. I film these videos on my cell phone, and I had an iPhone 15 Pro, and it just got to the point where I could not even get through filming a video like this without having to charge it. And in my opinion, when your iPhone gets to the point where the battery doesn't last much, like it doesn't last a full day, that's the signal to replace your phone, right? So I bought the iPhone 17 Pro, and now I'm trying to learn how to use the camera on that one because I heard it's like really amazing. I'm trying to get better with my camera skills. It's a learning process. And one thing I am trying to do is use the cameras on the back side of the iPhone, but when you do that, there's a side effect of not being able to see your own picture when you're filming. And so right now, like, there's no indication that I'm even recording. I need to find a solution for that and make that better. So it's a learning process. I gotta like find a better tripod, probably find some kind of accessory that lets me see the screen on the back side. And I think it'll end up really nice whenever I figure those things out. And then when I figure out a little bit better filming techniques, we'll have some better visuals for you guys, hopefully, especially those who watch on TV. And now, similar to the other one, we're going to press it down a little bit and then do a fluffier layer right on top. These giga cells sure hold a lot of soil, and I hope I have enough seed starting mix. All right, so dirty hands. Let's do Black-Eyed Susan. Now these are old seeds. Not that old, they're 2025. I bought them last year, and I don't even remember what I did with them. It looks like this one packet is used and empty. This one, oh my gosh, I don't even have any seeds, do I? Okay, we're gonna pivot. We are gonna pivot. I thought I had Black-Eyed Susan, and I don't. So, I have lots of portulaca. We're going to rip off the label and do another portulaca. teeny tiny seeds. So what I was saying about my gardening space, in the front yard, or my front porch really, I want to do like a video that's like a spring porch refresh. And I want to figure out a nice way to incorporate some gardening and like decor into the front porch, like, you know, improve my furniture situation out front and maybe do some hanging baskets. And I've been looking at this Vigo Garden elevated raised bed that's really narrow. It's called like the Slim Series elevated one. I think I'm gonna go with that and put that like in a shady spot for shade flowers and shade herbs. And I think it's gonna be kind of fun to do like a before and after front porch upgrade. So these flowers, even though some of them, like portulaca, could be direct sown, the space is not ready. I don't have that elevated raised bed yet. So we're just gonna start indoors. And I will get that raised bed probably in March, along with the furniture, to do a whole spring porch refresh. Now we're gonna do lobelia. I'm a little nervous to see what happens when I open the packet because it looks and feels really small. I don't even know if I have enough seeds to fill these 9 cells. That's okay. We're gonna see what happens. All right. Don't worry, we're gonna water from below, make sure the soil is nice and moist. We're gonna do all that at the end, and I'll spritz the top to keep the top moist. All right. Clean hands. Lobelia. I'm going to make sure that I've got the lobelia one and the lobelia. Maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong. Lobelia. I don't know. It's called Crystal Palace. I got these seeds from Botanical Interests. I like to shop on Botanical Interests. I know I talk about seeds a lot, I feel like, and I do shop at a lot of different places. It's true for seeds. But Botanical Interests, they almost make it like so easy for me because I'll go there to their website and they have all the herbs that I want. They have all the flowers that I want, and they have all the vegetables that I want. And so rather than doing like small purchases from multiple stores and potentially paying shipping costs from multiple stores, I just order from Botanical Interests and it's easy. Oh, these are lots of seeds. Okay, so it says press lightly into surface, sow in groups of 12 to 20 seeds, 4 to 6 inches apart. So we're just going to do about, some clump of 16 to 20 in each cell. Oh my gosh, they're not lying. These are tiny. So along with the front porch refresh, I've been thinking a lot lately about garden design. I think it's like, when I look at, I don't know if you guys do this, but when I look at Zillow, when I just like daydream and I'm like killing time on my phone or my laptop, what I'm doing is looking at Zillow and looking at houses. And the houses that I'm always drawn to are the houses that have a beautiful backyard. And I'm not ready to move or anything like that, but I thought, maybe it's time I do some updates in the backyard and try to create something that's really cool. And you guys can tell I live in a new construction neighborhood, and one of my frustrations with that is that everything seems so new and bare, especially the landscaping. It's so young. It's not pretty like those beautiful old areas that you could live in, like Miami or something. They're just so dense with so much landscaping, and it's beautiful. But here, it's like everything feels so bare and new in a bad way when it comes to the plants. But I think we can try to have some fun creating something here in this backyard. So I had a meeting yesterday with, we're gonna move on to gazania. I had a meeting yesterday, we'll call it a consultation, with an outdoor company, because I think that one of the struggles I have with expanding the garden in the backyard is I can't put my finger on it, but I can't get the vision in my head. Right now, you guys have seen my, you guys have seen my gardens, right? I have the long raised beds against the fence, and then they're anchored by the garden towers on the end. And I have the tea garden off to the side. And I just dropped that bag. And then I have that tree ring under the palm where I put some flowers. And when it comes to putting another raised bed in, I just can't figure out where to put it. Can't figure it out. There's no anchor point. You know what I mean? It's the same problem with an open concept house. Without the wall, there's nowhere to put any furniture, you know? So without a walkway, or without a border from a walkway, or a border from a pergola, or a border from a fence, I just really struggle with where to put something. I want to have like something that's creative and I feel is a place that I want to hang out in. And so the idea of having a backyard full of rows of raised beds, it just doesn't fit how I want to use the space. Of course, it would be like lots more gardening space, lots more vegetables, you know, but it wouldn't be like a space where you want to have friends over for a farm to table or garden to table dinner, you know? So in the meeting I had with the outdoor company it's still so dry. In the meeting I had yesterday with the outdoor company, this guy was pretty awesome, first of all. I will reveal the company at some point, but I'm not going to reveal the company name yet. I want to see the work they do. But he was like so on the same page as me. I told him right off the bat that, you know, I have a YouTube channel for gardening and I want to create something back here that's just like a cool garden, a cool garden space. You know, I want a pergola where we can have some bougainvillea or star jasmine climbing over it. I want a space to film my YouTube videos. I want a space to do my seed starting that isn't, you know, right here looking straight into my living room, right? And he was totally on the same page. He was like, oh yeah, we could do some walkways, make it a little bit windy. And walkways are nice because it's like your anchor point. You can do like decorative landscape plants or gardens around the edge of the walkway, wherever you want. So it was a really fun meeting. That we've got that in the works. I think we're gonna do an outdoor kitchen here, plus a big pergola with a dining table underneath, and then a smaller pergola that's attached. My lanai is like an L shape like this. Right here is where I'm standing, where the outdoor kitchen would be. The grill and everything would be over there, and then we do an L shape like this, and there'd be bar stools right there. And over top of that would be a small trellis that's like or a small pergola that's like attached to the house. You know how they do? Like a lot of times people do that over their garages, especially in South Florida. My sister's neighborhood in Palm Beach Gardens has a lot of those. And then once you take the L shape over here, I have some chairs that I really like that I got from Pollywood for a filming studio area, and then we're going to extend the lanai out that way and build like a big square pergola. And under that pergola, we're gonna do a nice dining set so that I can do something like this video right here. And we're also going to build in the spot for either bougainvillea or star jasmine to go. I think we're going to leave extra space around that pergola post so that the bougainvillea can be in the ground. Because if you watch videos about bougainvillea, the ones that are really creating that canopy on top of a pergola, their trunks are like this big. And it's gonna, I feel like if I put it in a pot, it would stunt that growth and not allow it to create that full canopy. And I know that it's gonna take years to get there. But wouldn't it be so cool if you guys like watched the transformation over the course of years, and then eventually I could do videos on like, you know, I'm adding bougainvillea here, this is how I got it to climb, this is, you know, a horror story about my pruning and getting like, you know, looking like I got beat up by a cat because all the thorns got me, something like that. Now, I'm not saying I want to get beat up by the thorns. I just know it's probably going to happen. It's going to be fun, right? And it's going to be cool. We can make it like nice cedar wood, and it's going to be cool. You guys got to let me know if you have a space in your yard for, okay, so this, hold on. This says a group of 2 to 3 seeds, 8 to 12 inches apart, about a 1/4 inch deep. I'm going to use my little dipper. Yeah, so you guys got to let me know if you have a cool pergola trellis situation at your house. And I'd love to see some pictures. Shoot, if you could send me a picture to my email, jen@spacecoastharvest.com, that'd be so cool. I'm trying to get some inspiration. I think I would like a nice dark stained cedar wood with a pop of like the hot pink bougainvillea. Been thinking about star jasmine too. I'm just not sure it grows fast enough. I think bougainvillea grows faster. And let's be honest, I'm going to be pretty impatient if, you know, 3 years from now my star jasmine is barely covering the pergola, you know. I think that'd be so cool though. Let me know your thoughts. I know someone is going to tell me you'll regret it because you'll get beat up by the thorns every time you prune them. But you know, sometimes things are just, it's just worth it. Sometimes it's worth it. Let's remember this clip. Whenever I'm complaining in 3 years about getting beat up, I want somebody to pull this clip and say, remember when you said it was worth it? It'd be funny. Gazania's done. Now we're moving on to gomphrena. I had purple gomphrena last time and I loved it, but I just kind of wanted to keep colors like similar, and so I was kind of going for like red, yellow, pink for the summertime. Springtime, it's, you know, these bright colors, and I like a dark purple in the fall, actually a dark purple and dark red in the fall. So we're gonna go for Sunshine Blend. Hold on, that's Sunshine Blend Gazania. I guess I had 2 packets of that. Gomphrena is a Fiery Sunrise blend, also from Botanical Interests. I'll put a link to all these flowers in the description box below if you guys are interested. Some of them, we can be a little flexible about planting times for some of these flowers. I'm just trying to get them going so that whenever my flowers like Sweet Alyssum, whenever it starts getting too hot for that, I'll have a backup replacement. My goal is to not buy transplants for flowers. It just seems like I never plant enough, so I always have to buy transplants. We'll see. I'm gonna get better, you guys. I'm gonna get better. So what do you think about that design? I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna show a picture of it. I tried to work up a visual of it on ChatGPT. It's so hard. Like I couldn't get it. I tried so hard to get it to like turn the outdoor kitchen properly. And it was just doing like weird stuff, like putting the bar like in the center of this space, and it's so annoying. Have you guys ever tried to like design something using ChatGPT and then it just is a total failure? My sister is an interior designer, and it's Melissa Nelson Interiors in Palm Beach Gardens, if you're interested. She's my twin. And she uses Nano Banana. I think it's called Nano Banana or Nana Banana, the Google one. And she said that was the best for rendering a visual like that. So I sat there and worked for like all afternoon the other day trying to put my vision together. Number one, to share the vision with, the outdoor guy that I just had a meeting with yesterday. But also to share it with my husband because we were not like on the same page. And I think I finally did it well enough where he bought into it. He's into it now. But it still wasn't quite right. Which flower am I on? Gomphrena. Anyway, AI is like, it'll be cool when it's there, when it's really there and helpful. But man, it's a skill to learn how to use it. I even asked it, like, listen, your orientation is wrong. What pictures do you need me to take of the current lanai so that you can orient it correctly? And it was like, okay, yeah. You need to take the wide shot. You need to take the close-up shot. You need to take the shot from the corner, and like you have to be able to connect the pieces. So like your shot of that side needs to contain the column. And then your shot from this side needs to contain that column too so that it can create that 3D vision. And I did it. And the pictures were great. AI is not. There. That's my frustration. Gomphrena. Oh, these are cool. Cool seeds. A group of 3 seeds every 8 inches. There's only like 25 seeds in the whole pack. 25, 1, 2, 3, there's 9. 25 divided by 9. 2.667? I don't know. Something like that. I only have 1 packet, so I can only do 2 seeds per hole, which is less than they tell me to. Oops. Sometimes it annoys me that seed packets, some of them are by weight. And if you're unfamiliar with the seed, you're like, I don't know how many seeds are in 125 milligrams of, portulaca seeds. Or, this gomphrena, 25 seeds. Well, why are you charging me $3.69 for 25 seeds? But how many do I really need? Okay. Okay, all right, so we got the gomphrena planted about a 1/4 inch deep. Some holes have 3, like they're supposed to, and some holes have 2. It'll be okay, it'll be okay. That might be one of the transplants I have to buy. All right, 2 more. We need more seed starting mix. A whole nother bag for these next 2. And then I hope that is it because that's all the seed starting mix I have, and I only have 2 more giga cells left. So I think I'll be okay. I'd like to know if any of you guys out there also live in like a newer construction subdivision like me. I know there's a lot of them in Florida, so it's probably pretty likely that you do. But I'd like to know what you're doing outside in your landscaping to give it character. You know what I mean? It's too new and too bare, and somebody somewhere along the lines of the history of the home ownership, somebody has to have a vision for the outdoor gardening design to make something have character like in 25 years, you know? If we just keep everything so bare like a lot of these houses do, I just don't think it's going to age well. That's my opinion. Maybe you share it. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. We're going to do gaillardia. It's blanket flower is another name for it. I've grown it before, but I started from a transplant, a store-bought transplant. This one should bloom all summer long. Some of these flowers are like, they'll bloom in the spring and then I'm not sure if they'll even make it through the summer. Maybe they will, like the lobelia, I think lobelia is supposed to bloom like late spring, and then once the heat gets really bad, I don't think it's going to do well. You'll have to keep watching and see. Do you guys ever watch Garden Answer on YouTube? She's a really popular gardening channel. She's been around for a long time. She's probably one of like I feel like one of the first gardening channels. But she does like really interesting garden design type stuff. She lives, I think it's Oregon. Her family owns like a seed shop or something up there. Anyway, I watch her because it's really interesting to learn how somebody is thinking through the design of a garden and trying to make it beautiful. And sometimes I watch, there's another channel that I watch. She's an English woman, and she talks through like cottage garden design and just like the different aspects of garden like design and your choices with your flowers and your colors and stuff like that. And every time I watch those videos, I'm like, oh, I wish I had style like that. I'll get there, but I feel like you can't get there without trying some things. I think some things, it's cool to have like, well, let me just tell you what I think. Like I'm not rambling enough. 1/4 inch deep, a group of 3 seeds every 12 inches. 300 milligrams. How many seeds do you think that is? It's this many, not very many. So I think about a lot of things when it comes to the garden design. When I think about how to expand my garden or what to do with my backyard. I watch Gardenary. I think she is great, but you know, she has this like distinct style, kitchen gardens, and everything is like encompassed in that one square or rectangle that she creates for her clients. I don't know if you guys watch her, but it's always the same. It's a very nice look, don't get me wrong, but I personally want my backyard to feel more like, I want the garden to feel more like integrated with your living space and integrated with, like, I don't want to have like a square in the backyard for the garden because it's so beautiful. Why can't I have it spread out purposely used for beautification and for food. That's kind of like why I lean towards watching things like A Garden Answer, and I watch things like that British woman talking about English garden design or European garden design, because they seem to like take a different approach. It leans heavily on like having walkways and seating areas throughout your garden, rather than like a square. Those seeds are done. Rather than like a section of your yard just devoted to garden, I just think it'd be cool. What if even for those who have like a pool in their backyard, wouldn't it be really cool to like integrate your pool design with some space for like a vegetable garden or an herb garden or tea garden or flowers? I know people do. They do have like some people do. They'll do palm trees and stuff. But you know what I mean. I'm talking about like vegetables and herbs. These are going to be marigolds. Now marigolds, I'm aware that we can direct sow. You actually can direct sow or seed start marigolds. The reason I am seed starting is because my space is not ready yet. I think I'm going to put it in my tree ring area underneath that palm. It's right behind the camera right now. And right now that space is full of dianthus, sweet alyssum, petunias, and I don't want to add marigolds just yet. But also, maybe there's a lot of seeds in there and I can kind of do both and have transplant, if it direct sow is just fine and works well, maybe my transplants can be like a backup. So I'm going to share my backyard design idea. And I would love for one of you, if you guys have ideas, I want you to tell me. Maybe we'll create something really cool. I've picked out the furniture already, but I haven't bought it. Have you guys ever heard of polywood? If you're in Florida, polywood is amazing. It's like, so it's recycled HDPE plastic, but they make it look like wood. So it's really visually appealing. But you don't have to like seal it, stain it. If you want to clean it, all you got to do is like take a hose to it, which is really convenient for something like this. Or, with kids. My kids, like, there's glue all over this table. Because my kids were like, oh, I did it on top of cardboard, but they didn't. The cardboard was over there, and the glue is here. I guess polywood's not going to help the glue problem. A group of 3 seeds every 8 inches. Polywood's not going to help my glue problem. My children ruining my stuff problem. But anyway, I love polywood. I found these really cool bar stools on polywood, which I want to incorporate in the outdoor kitchen. They have a swivel. They're like Adirondack style and a swivel, which just seems like, yes, I want to sit there. I hate a bar stool that doesn't have a back. It's like not relaxing at all. That's my opinion. I know it's not everybody's opinion. But when I'm choosing bar stools, I'm going to choose one with a back. And I actually found a dining set that is the same look. Swivel, the 2 captain's chairs on the dining set have swivels, but then the other 4 chairs don't. I have a family of 5, so I need a table that seats 6. Because it's going to be a rectangle. I don't want to do a circle. We're getting there, you guys. We're getting there. We're getting there. I hope you guys don't mind my rambling. Seed starting is so relaxing and calming. I have a lot more seeds to start. I still haven't started my eggplants and peppers for the spring. I know, I'm so bad. All the cold weather and all the wind just made me want to stay inside. I could not handle it if I lived up north. Now we have all the flowers in their seed starting cells. I'm going to first move them indoors into my new seed starting rack. Then we're going to water, because listen to this dumb thing I've done before. I've watered from below before, right after seed sowing, and then you end up with a tray with water in it, and then I immediately wanted to bring it inside and put it under the grow lights, and then I was just sloshing and spilling that water all over my house when I was bringing them in. And so I've learned that, hey, it's better to put them in place than water, okay? Don't make a mess. So this is the new Ultimate Grow Light Garden from Vigo Garden, and I absolutely love it. I know you guys might think I'm crazy for having a grow rack in my living room, but it's 4 foot wide, and this is the only spot where it would fit. I need to do like a full review video on it at some point. I just got it, and I just assembled it, so this is my first time using it, so I don't know necessarily pros or cons, I would say, yet. I'm gonna water in. This is the lobelia. Remember, these seeds are right on the surface. And so I bought this little spritzer. I'm just gonna spritz them and make sure that the surface stays wet too. Just gonna bottom water, but you know, it's all the way back there, so I'm gonna try to do it through this little hole. It's going right to the bottom tray. That's all I've got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time.